The only other thing I'll add is this. When you really get how central, how all-important this cross-shaped love is, above all, put on love. It's the most important thing. It's when you get that, it's the distinguishing mark of the disciple. It is our primary witness to the world. It is the all-encompassing command, and it is the all or nothing of the kingdom. When you get that, then you immediately have got to see how odd it is, and really how demonic it is, that throughout all of history, love's never been taken as a criteria for orthodoxy. Think about it. The most important thing, we don't have a record of anybody getting their hand slapped for not being loving enough. We've got a record of millions of people being put to death, burned alive, tortured in unthinkable ways, for being wrong about the Trinity or being wrong about the Incarnation or the Pope or baptism or what have you. We don't have anyone being rebuked for not loving enough. And yet, if it's true that living in Christ-like love, cross-shaped love, is the all or nothing of the kingdom, then this ought to be the ultimate test of orthodoxy. Because to fail to do this is to fail at everything. It renders everything else worthless. You can be right about the Trinity, the Incarnation, your soteriology, angelology, and every other ology there is. But if you're wrong about this, if you're off on this, to the degree that you're missing this, it's altogether worthless. 1 Corinthians 13, 1 through 3. Which means that we ought to regard folks who put to death heretics throughout history as arch-heretics. Think about it. Rather than holding them as some of the heroes of the faith, as we continue to do, people who murdered in the past in Jesus' name, they're far worse than people who were just murdered in the past. We've had murderers throughout history, but these people murdered in Jesus' name, which makes their sin all the more grotesque, demonic. And yet we hold them up sometimes as heroes of the faith. Michael Servetus was wrong on the Trinity, and that's a bad thing to get wrong about. He had a wrong view of Jesus, and that's a bad heresy, for sure. But when Calvin put him to death, I submit to you that Calvin was by far the worst heretic. And so long as we refrain from saying this out loud, that this is the arch heresy, we'll never hold up the right heroes. We'll never emulate the right people. We'll keep on minimizing love and thinking that being right about the Trinity is more important than living in love. It is so important to be right about the Trinity, don't get me wrong. In the Incarnation, I love good theology. But it's all worthless unless we get this point down. Live in love as Christ loved you and gave his life for you to all people at all times, even if they have a gun pointing in your face. God bless you guys. God bless you guys. Stay centered in his love. Take care. Bye.